Hey there, it is Anne Marie, the anti-HR HR lady, and I know you guys haven't seen me in a video in a while. I have been busy. Um, I don't know how many of you know this, but I also have a travel platform, Bald Girl Will Travel, and I travel quite a lot for pleasure and because it helps me keep myself centered and happy. And so solo travel is a big part of my life, and I've been traveling quite a bit this year. I've been to several different places, and I'm getting ready to take off on another trip next week. So I want to make sure I put some content together because there are things that I want to talk to you guys about. Um, so I wanted to make sure that I do that before I take off again. So before I go run some errands here at home in Mexico, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of saving yourself when it comes to discriminatory hostile work environments. I get a lot of emails from people where they send me these really long emails telling me every single thing that ever happened to them at work and then expecting me to answer and tell them what to do. First of all, I don't do email consultations. If you want to talk to me about an HR issue, you need to book a discovery call, and there is a fee for that. It's not an expensive fee, but it is a fee because my time has value, as does everyone. And so if you send me a long, lengthy email, I'm probably not going to respond, but I'm going to ask you to book a discovery call so that we can talk about it and that I can determine whether or not I think we're a good match for an engagement. But more important than that, the answer to your problem, to your discriminatory hostile workplace, sits with you, believe it or not. I might be able to give you advice and tell you things that you can do, and in my engagements, work with you one-to-one, or in my online trainings, give you a roadmap. But at the end of the day, the person who has to execute on everything is you. I don't work as a legal representative for anyone that I work with. I'm an HR consultant. I give you advice. I give you support. I tell you how to do things, when to do it, how to be strategic, how to have a strategy, how to be tactical. But at the end of the day, everyone that works with me has to do the work themselves. You have to decide, first of all, that this is an environment that you no longer want to be in and that you're prepared to take the actions necessary to get out of it. Because the only person who's going to save you from a work environment that is harming you and causing you stress and abusing you is you. As Black women especially, we got to save ourselves. The cavalry is not coming. The prince, the knight in shining armor isn't coming. We got to save ourselves. So it's really important that you understand that at the end of the day, if you don't want to be in this type of work environment, you have to arm yourself with information that you need to change it. But then you've got to take action to make it different. Someone else is not going to come in and take the action for you. Not even me. I'm going to give you information, but you've got to use it. You've got to be willing to go into HR and strategically raise your complaints. You've got to be willing to have the conversations that are not always easy with human resources, possibly with your manager, in order to negotiate your way out with a check, right? I'm not going to do that for you. You've got to do it. So those of you who want to work with me, I want to make sure that you understand that saving yourself lays with you. Right? I will give you all the information and all the support possible to get you there, but you've got to do the work. I have an upcoming masterclass with clinical psychologist Kimani Norrington Sands where we are going to specifically talk about how to save yourself from discriminatory, hostile, and toxic workplaces that are harming you, not only with your money, but with your soul and sanity intact. Because the reality is that these workplaces and the experiences that a lot of us are having these workplaces are breaking our spirits, and they impact you not just while you're in the workplace, but even after you leave the workplace. And it's really important for you to take intentional actions to not just get out of these work environments, because we really need to get out of these work environments, and to give yourself the permission to take the actions you need to take to get out without the fear and anxiety that can often accompany these actions. But also, after you leave these work environments, I want you to understand, as a person who has survived multiple hostile, toxic workplaces, that the impact of this stays with you even after you go. It can have really negative consequences if you do not intentionally take action to heal yourself after you've saved yourself. So one of the reasons that I decided to do this collaboration with Dr. Kamani is because while I may have the ability to give you the advice and counsel you need to get out of these work environments and to even be paid to leave these work environments, I don't have the training or the skill to help you to heal from these work environments. And the reality is that money might give you the options to get yourself some healing, but money in and of itself will not heal you. And just leaving will not heal you. And I cannot emphasize that. I just can't emphasize it enough as someone who has been through this. And the first time I did not take the steps that I needed to take. And I made a lot of decisions that were not good decisions because I was so angry and so sad. Still, even after I left the workplace with my big check, about what had happened to me, right? And at the time, I wasn't understanding that a lot of things that I was doing, I was acting out of trauma. I was really reacting out of the hurt and the harm that was residual from the experience that I had had. So even though I had physically left the workplace, my mind hadn't left the workplace. And so I had to do intentional work to get past that experience. And so I would really encourage you, if this sounds like your experience and sounds like what you've experienced yourself, even if you have already left the work environment, that you consider signing up for the masterclass. It's called Save Yourself, and it will happen on June 27th and June 28th. We will have 2 sessions. This training is specifically for Black women. We are going to be talking about hostile toxic jobs in the context and from the lens of Black women. And yes, we're intentionally excluding everyone else because we realize that to have some of the conversations that we're going to need to have and to talk about, some of the things that we're going to need to talk about, we need to give each other room and space and a safe place to do that. So we are having this training specifically for Black women. So if you are a Black woman and this sounds like your experience in either a current job or in a past job, especially if it's been recent, I would really encourage you to sign up for this training and participate in it. Replays will also be available, so if you sign up and you can't do it live, you'll still be able to access the training after it takes place. But what I want you to remember is the job of saving yourself is your responsibility. It's not your fault that you're being subjected to a discriminatory, hostile workplace, but it is your responsibility to get yourself out. Nobody else is going to do it for you. This is Anne Marie, the Anti-HR HR lady, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.